We see them every day, soaring through the skies, carrying millions of passengers to their destinations. But behind those sleek metal bodies and powerful engines lies a history so bizarre, so unexpected, that it will change how you see air travel forever. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the shocking, strange, and sometimes disturbing history of airplanes that they definitely didn't teach you in school. Make sure you stay until the end, because the last fact about early passenger planes will absolutely blow your mind. We've all been told that the Wright brothers invented the first airplane in 1903, right? Well, not exactly. Decades before Orville and Wilbur took flight at Kitty Hawk, a British baronet named Sir George Cayley was already testing the fundamental principles of flight. In 1853, 50 years before the Wright brothers, Cayley built a glider that successfully carried his coachman across a small valley. According to witnesses, after landing safely, the terrified coachman quit on the spot, reportedly saying, "I was hired to drive, not to fly." But here's where it gets really interesting. Ancient civilizations from Peru to Egypt created flying devices that modern aeronautical engineers have confirmed could actually generate lift. These artifacts, thousands of years old, suggest humans may have understood flight principles long before modern aviation. And get this, the first aerial photograph wasn't taken from an airplane at all. It was captured in 1858 from a hot air balloon over Paris by Gaspard Félix Tournichon. The military implications were immediately obvious, and within years, both Union and Confederate forces were using balloon surveillance during the American Civil War. The early days of aviation were nothing short of terrifying. Did you know that the Wright brothers refused to fly together after 1910? They made a pact to fly separately so that if one died in a crash, the other could continue their work. Smart move considering early test pilots had a life expectancy measured in weeks, not years. One of aviation's darkest secrets was the phenomenon known as pilot rot, where early open cockpit pilots would develop severe frostbite and fungal infections from exposure to extreme elements at high altitudes. Before enclosed cockpits, pilots would sometimes land with their faces literally frozen. And here's something they definitely don't want you to know. Some of the most significant advances in aviation came from crashes. The concept of pre-flight checklists didn't exist until 1935, when a Boeing Model 299 crashed during a demonstration flight, killing 2 crew members. The plane wasn't technically faulty. The pilot simply forgot to disengage a control lock before takeoff. That deadly mistake gave birth to the pilot's checklist, now a universal safety standard that has saved countless lives. If you think modern airplanes all look basically the same, you'll be shocked to learn about these rejected designs that almost made it into production. In the 1940s, the Vought Aiv 173 flying pancake looked exactly like what you'd imagine, a flying saucer with propellers. Test pilot Charles Lindbergh himself flew it and reported it could hover almost motionless in the air. Even more outlandish was the Blohm & Voss BV 141, a German reconnaissance aircraft with an asymmetrical design that looked like it was missing half its body. Aerodynamically, this plane should have been impossible to fly, yet it performed remarkably well. But perhaps the most shocking was the nuclear-powered bomber the US Air Force seriously considered building in the 1950s. The aircraft nuclear propulsion program spent over $1 billion, equivalent to about $10 billion today, developing a bomber that would be powered by an exposed nuclear reactor with virtually unlimited range. The only thing that stopped this potentially catastrophic project? The realization that a crash would scatter radioactive debris across huge areas. Pilots would have been flying what amounted to a nuclear bomb with wings. The world of aviation is filled with mysteries that remain unsolved to this day. Did you know that in the early days of airmail, Pilots navigated across America using giant concrete arrows built on the ground. Over 1,500 of these massive arrows, some spanning 70 feet in length, were constructed across the country to guide pilots before radio navigation existed. Most have been forgotten, slowly disappearing into the landscape. And have you heard about the Lost Squadron? In 1942, 6 P-38 Lightning fighters and 2 B-17 bombers made an emergency landing on a Greenland glacier during World War II. The crews were rescued, but the planes were abandoned. When salvagers found them in 1988, the aircraft weren't on the surface. They were buried under 268 feet of solid ice that had accumulated in just 46 years, challenging everything we thought we knew about how quickly glaciers form. Even more disturbing is the mystery of the ghost planes. Aircraft that occasionally appear on radar following proper flight paths and responding to communications, only to vanish completely when interceptors arrive. Aviation authorities have documented dozens of these incidents, but have no explanation for them. And now for the mind-blowing facts about early passenger planes I promised you. Before pressurized cabins became standard in the 1950s, passengers on long flights regularly experienced altitude sickness so severe that vomiting was considered a normal part of air travel. Airlines provided motion discomfort bags as standard, the predecessors to today's sick bags. But that's nothing compared to this. On early commercial flights, insurance companies set up vending machines in airports that sold flight insurance policies for pennies. These machines made a fortune because early commercial aviation was so dangerous that regular life insurance policies often excluded air travel completely. And the most shocking fact of all, early passenger planes had no bathrooms. On long flights, passengers were given chemical toilets behind curtains. On some flights, they were simply told to hold it for the entire journey. But here's the fact I promised would blow your mind. Until the 1970s, some commercial airliners had no radar. Pilots navigated storms using nothing but their eyes and radio reports from other aircraft. Next time you complain about turbulence, remember, at least your pilot can see the storm coming. The history of aviation is filled with daring innovations, deadly mistakes, and designs so bizarre they seem impossible. Yet from these chaotic beginnings, we've developed the safest form of transportation in human history. If you enjoyed learning these shocking facts about airplane history, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos that reveal the surprising truth behind everyday technologies. And let me know in the comments, which of these aviation facts shocked you the most? I'll see you in the next video.